I'm anti-death penalty.
I could go either way on that.
Morally, I do think that there are some offenses that I would be, like child rape and that sort of thing. I'm like, castrate the fuck out of you. Like, I do not care.
Yeah.
But the way that the system is set up, I'm anti because of that. Like, there are so many, cases where even if in one case they ruled it wrong and we took a life, like, why are we allowed to play God? Why is a jury or a judge allowed to play God?
Yeah, I would say life is the most precious thing.
Oh, I saw a TikTok on that. It was so sad. The kid was put to the death penalty. I think he was like 16 years old, 17 years old. And then they found out like 40 years later he was innocent.
Oh, that's like a substantial statistic.
Yeah.
And also one thing that I think really struck me is that a lot of people say that it's cheaper. But it's not, because you have to go
so
through
much
years
death row is years.
of,
And the litigation too.
And the victim's family has to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, something awful happens to your child, your loved one, whatever, and you have to keep going back year after year after year, testifying, doing all of this. It's like, at that point, I just want to get on with my life. Put them behind bars for life.
Oh, how about this? How about assisted suicide? How do you feel on that?
I'm anti it.
Anti?
Yeah.
Why?
And I just, God. So I'm looking at what is happening in Canada right now, and it's happening to the most vulnerable population. So we were talking about like the mentally ill on the street. They're, going up to these people, and that's their solution right now, is that, if you're so mentally, if you are so unhappy, here's this, state assisted suicide. It's like, that's your best option.
But you go for that. What if someone is terminally ill?
I think that's a totally different conversation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
So
if
say
you
the
are,
legality of assisted suicide, not necessarily the culture of it, but the legality of it in general, like, do you support the theory of it?
I think if somebody was terminally ill, I think that would be the only time that I would be morally for it, like think that it was like legally, maybe okay. I think that would be very hard as like the family member that was watching that or being involved. I don't know how I would react to that, but I also know people who are, there's no other way, and they want to go, at their own, especially like older people who it's like, I don't want to suffer anymore. I can understand that argument. But what really bothers me is that like people are touting this around as like, we're helping all these people, all these homeless people, they don't really have like a point to live. And it's like that's your option. We're talking about like, what do we do for this, vulnerable population? How do we clean up our streets? How do we make it safer? And it's like, this is what Canada's trying to do. And it's, and I see the videos of people who, have been offered assisted suicide. And it's like, some of them were talking and, they were saying like, if this had been offered to me like a year prior, I would have taken it. And then over the last year, like my life has gotten so much better. I finally, took the leap and I, made all these changes. It's like, that's terrifying to me. But again, it's less of like somebody else playing God, but it's like, we're offering that to people as this like,
right,
option.
as an
like
out. Yes.
I don't think that that's like a cop out
mentally
on the government.
ill people as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, that feels like taking advantage of them. And if that's the best you can do, then I have a real problem with that.